Let me tell you about a man who knew that every man is worth just so much as the things about which he busies himself. Marcus Aurelius. Chapter 1. Invisible Chains. Love's prison. Within your dearest relations, an unseen power struggle unfolds. I will show you how to recognize its walls, and, perhaps, how to break free. Understood a crucial truth. He who desires to command must learn to obey. What he truly meant is that power isn't given. It's taken from those who keep you dependent. Your family, often without malice, can be the first to chain you, binding you to a life that isn't yours. You grow up believing in an unbreakable bond, a safe harbor. This is a lie for countless souls. Family can be the invisible hand that pulls you back, the quiet voice that tells you to settle. They don't want you to fail. They just don't want you to change. Think about it. You share your ambition, your big plans. What do you get? A hesitant nod, a subtle warning, a reminder of past failures. They offer comfort, but also a cage. They don't see your potential. They see the version of you that fits their world. This isn't always malicious. It's often a deep-seated fear of loss. They fear losing their role, their influence, the familiar you. Your growth means their world shifts. People, even those who claim to love you, resist change fiercely, so you shrink. You dim your light. You adjust your dreams to fit their expectations. You silence your true desires, one small compromise at a time. Nothing leaks, nothing drains, everything compounds. You become smaller, safer, easier to manage. Carl Jung wrote that one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. He understood that your family's projections, their unfulfilled dreams, their silent fears become your invisible chains. You carry their shadows, mistaking them for your own limits. If you announce your audacious goal, people will tell you it's too risky. They will remind you of all the reasons you shouldn't. They will flood you with their anxieties. But if you quietly build, if you simply do, there's nothing for them to fight against, no space for their fears to take root. Right now, you are leaking energy. You are bleeding ambition. You are letting others define your ceiling. They do it with soft words, with gentle warnings, with their love. Recognize these invisible chains for what they are. See the subtle sabotage. But there's another hidden leak, one that drains your confidence and keeps you forever seeking approval. What is it? We'll dive into how the good child archetype traps you next. Chapter 2. The Guiding Hand. The Velvet Leash. Understand this insidious tether. They don't just fear your failure, they fear your triumphs beyond their grasp. This is the subtle art of control. The guiding hand they offer rarely aids your growth. It's a tether. They pull you back into their comfort zone, their past, their vision for your life. They call it wisdom. But it's constant pressure to conform, to mirror their expectations. This advice erodes your intuition, making you doubt every independent thought. You become a reflection of their fears, not your own master. Watch what happens when you choose a path they don't understand or a partner they don't approve of. The gentle warnings begin. Veiled criticisms, stories of friends who failed. They don't want you to struggle, but deeply, they don't want you different. Your independence threatens their sense of order, their place in your life. Every major decision, every personal pivot, do you instinctively seek their blessing? Wait for their nod before you commit. This impulse, this need for validation, is your invisible chain. It ensures you never fully own your choices, never truly experience consequences. You remain a child, bound by their limited perspectives. Here's how to break it. Become opaque. Cultivate a private inner world for ambitions. Listen to their advice with a neutral face, offer non-committal responses, then quietly proceed. This isn't disrespect, it's self-preservation. Shield your will from outside influence until strong. They cannot sabotage what they do not know. If you announce intentions, you invite debate. You open the door for their doubt. You give them a chance to plant anxiety. But if you quietly execute your vision, moving with silent conviction, there's nothing for them to fight. Nothing to argue with but a finished reality. They can complain, but not derail. Socrates once argued that the unexamined life is not worth living. He understood true wisdom comes from within, through relentless self-inquiry and the courage to question everything. If you outsource your thinking, you surrender your life. You cease to be the pilot and become a passenger in a journey someone else charted. This constant seeking of approval drains your power. It weakens you. Abraham Lincoln, facing immense pressure, understood personal conviction. He famously said, "I walk slowly, but I never walk backward." His quiet resolve, his steadfast march, despite external noise, is the template. Cultivate that internal compass, that stubborn refusal to be swayed. Your path is yours alone. The guiding hand often becomes a grip. It restricts your reach. It keeps you tethered to a familiar shore, preventing you from sailing into unknown, potentially richer waters. But there's another subtle tactic they employ, one that exploits your need for belonging and conformity. What is it? Chapter 3, The Family Ledger. The loyalty trap, a cage built of blood and shared history. Your family demands unity, yet fears your ambition. They demand allegiance, while stifling your ascent. The next lie they tell you is inscribed in an invisible ledger. This is their family scoreboard, updated with every sacrifice they claim. They present past kindnesses not as love, but as a strategic investment, demanding a lifetime of interest. Your obedience, you become a debtor bound by emotional obligation, denying yourself determination. This debt is a heavy chain. It limits your choices, dictating your career, your relationships, even your location. When you forge your own path, set a boundary, they brandish an entry. "We gave up so much," they whisper. "After everything we've done, you abandon us." This is not love, it is a transaction. Think about announcing a decision they didn't approve. The immediate response wasn't discussion, but a recitation of past favors. Tuition paid, late nights, opportunities forgone. These aren't memories. They are catalog weapons to inflict guilt, compel conformity. They want you to feel so indebted that defying them seems unthinkable. Here's how you dismantle their ledger. True kindness does not keep a score. As Seneca wrote, "A benefit is a gift which has been received by an act of goodwill." He understood that if a gift comes with expectation of control, it was never a gift. It was a contract. You never signed it. They want you to argue, to defend your independence against their claims. That argument validates the ledger, confirming your acceptance. It draws you into their warped reality. Do not engage. Your silence, your quiet persistence in building your own life is the most powerful rebuttal. Refuse to acknowledge the debt, refuse their rules, and the ledger loses power. They will intensify attempts, they will double down on guilt trips and blackmail. This is their last desperate play. It signals your impending freedom and their loss of control. This is a power game, and they are masters of it. They have spent years perfecting their grip. Ivan the Terrible, who demanded absolute fealty and crushed disloyalty, understood the raw power of obligation. He knew a subject, or a child, burdened by debt, is easily controlled. Your independence is their greatest threat. Explain your choices, and you invite negotiation on their terms, validating their authority. But if you simply act, quietly making your own moves and presenting them as accomplished facts, there's nothing for them to record, nothing to challenge. You have already moved the pieces on the board. Your sovereignty cannot be traded for favors. It is your right. The moment you accept their accounting, you sign away your future. Refuse the terms. Reject their premise. There is another insidious trap awaiting your growth. One that masquerades as support but actually binds you tighter. What is it? Chapter 4. Your static role. The shadow seed, they don't break your body, they break your will. They whisper, you are not enough, until you believe it yourself. Understand this insidious strategy. The next lie is about who you are. They see you as a fixed character in their unchanging play, not an evolving person. This is your static role, the identity they assigned years ago and refuse to update. They cling to the kid you were, anything but the adult you are becoming. This prison is built from their fear of change. Your evolution disrupts their system. Your growth threatens their comfort, challenges their stagnation, and forces them to confront what they refuse to become. If you change, their world shifts. They resist. They drain your energy with reminders of past failures, old jokes, dead versions of yourself. Think about family gatherings where old stories resurface, painting you into a corner. Remember when you always, or you've always been so. These aren't innocent memories, they are commands. They pull you back into the old mold, reminding you of the boundaries they set. They wait for you to flinch, to confirm their outdated image. Here's how you dismantle their static role. Do not argue with their memories. Outgrow them. Your strategy is quiet, relentless evolution. Become the person you are meant to be, not the one they expect. Every new skill, habit, and boundary, these are acts of quiet rebellion. If you announce your intentions, they will mobilize. They will dissect plans, point out flaws, and weaponize your past against your future. But if you quietly embody the change, presenting an accomplished new self, there's nothing for them to fight. They are left grappling with a reality they can only observe, not control. Friedrich Nietzsche understood growth is a violent act against the old self. He wrote about becoming who you are, a process of constant self-overcoming, smashing old tablets, and carving new values. Your family will always try to keep you tied to their old tablets, because it is easier for them to manage a static entity. Become that force. Do not seek their approval for your transformation. Their approval is a leash. Seek your own mastery. Let your actions define you, not their recollections. The more you embody your new self, the more irrelevant their old stories become. This is self-preservation, claiming the truth of who you are, free from their projections. Leonardo da Vinci, who constantly reinvented himself across art, science, and engineering, embodied this relentless evolution. He never settled for a single identity, always questioning, learning, pushing boundaries. True genius, he understood, lies in continuous dissection of reality and the courage to break free from established definitions, even those from your closest circles. Your identity is a project, not a prison. This battle for your true self is constant, but not the only front. Even as you shed their static image, another subtle manipulation awaits. One that uses your desire for connection against your independence. What is this silent weapon? Chapter 5. The benevolent cage. Still water, a trap carefully set. We'll expose the architects of this illusion, those who profit from your quiet despair and learn how to shatter their tranquil tyranny. The silent weapon is the benevolent cage. This is the ultimate trap your family sets, disguised as care, spun as wisdom, delivered with a smile. They tell you it's for your own good, for your safety, for your future. But what they truly mean is for their comfort, for their image, for their control over you. This isn't protection, it's domestication. It's the soft hand that keeps the bird from ever trying its wings. A flying bird is an unknown, and the unknown scares them. Every time you voiced an ambition they deemed too risky, too far-fetched, or simply different, what did they say? Be careful, it's dangerous out there. You're too good for that. They don't want you to fail. No, they want you to stay small, predictable, within arm's reach. They want to avoid the potential shame of your missteps, the anxiety of your independence, the uncomfortable shift in power if you truly rise. Watch what happens when you chase a dream that pulls you far from their orbit. They won't confront you with anger, not directly. They'll deploy concern. They'll point out every imagined pitfall, every dark corner, all under the guise of wanting the best. It's a constant drip of doubt. This drip erodes your confidence until you choose the safer path. This path, coincidentally, always keeps you tethered to them. It keeps you within their zone of control. It limits your options to only those they approve, slowly suffocating your unique trajectory. Here's how you break free from this velvet prison. You stop asking for permission. You stop seeking their approval. Louis XIV, the Sun King, famously declared, "El tat c'est moi, I am the state." He understood that true power means defining your own reality, not being defined by others. Your life is your state, and you are its absolute sovereign. This is why you announce nothing, you debate nothing, you simply do. If you tell them you're planning a move across the country, they will mobilize every fear tactic. They will paint vivid pictures of loneliness, financial ruin, and moral decay. But if you quietly save, quietly plan, then announce your departure when the U-Haul is packed, there's nothing for them to fight. They will accuse you of being ungrateful, selfish, cold. Let them. Your job is not to manage their feelings, but to build your life. Winston Churchill once remarked, "You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something. Your independence will be seen as a challenge. They will react as if you are rebelling, even if you are simply living. This is the price of sovereignty. Their protection is a cage, woven from their own anxieties. The moment you internalize their fears, you become your own jailer. True freedom isn't given, it is taken, piece by quiet piece, until you are undeniable." Chapter 6, Concern as Weapon. Family, a beautiful cage. They offer you a path, a destiny, but it's rarely your own. We will dismantle this illusion, expose the theft of your true power. The family doesn't just cage you, they weaponize their own anxieties. This concern feels like a smothering blanket, shrinking your world before you ever step into it. They project their unfulfilled dreams, past failures, and terror of the unknown onto your path, forging invisible chains of doubt. Your family's worry rarely addresses your actual danger. It's a mirror reflecting their personal limits, a desperate attempt to keep their stagnant reality intact. They fear your success because it highlights their inaction, or your risk because it exposes their cowardice. When they say be careful, they often mean don't leave our orbit. Imagine mentioning a risky venture, a big move, or an unconventional passion. Watch their eyes. Not pride, but a subtle shadow of dread flickers. They flood you with worst-case scenarios, what-ifs, disguised as wisdom, draining your enthusiasm and planting insidious doubt. They don't want you to fail. They want you to fail. They want you not to try, ensuring everyone stays anchored in their limited reality. Sigmund Freud, the pioneer of psychoanalysis, understood that what we criticize or fear in others is often an unacknowledged part of ourselves. He taught people project inner conflicts onto the external world. What your family calls concern is frequently their own unconscious terror of change, their unresolved anxieties about risks. Their warnings are a defense mechanism for their psyche, not a guide for your path. They rarely say, "Don't do it." Instead, they frame it as, "I just worry about you." Instead, they frame it as, "I just worry about you," a gentle, almost loving phrase designed to trigger your internal loyalty and your desire not to cause them distress. They don't block your path with a direct order, they fill it with fog. They don't tell you to stop, they just point out every potential pitfall, every dark cloud, every shadow that might be lurking. What if it doesn't work out? What if you fail? What if you lose everything? It's a big risk, and we just worry. Think about the quiet dread that settles in your gut when you hear these words, especially when you're on the verge of a big move, a new city, a challenging job, a risky business venture. Their concern isn't a shield against danger, it's a mental cage. It makes you second-guess your own intuition, to doubt your capacity to navigate the unknown. You start to see their fears as your own future. You become hesitant, paralyzed, unwilling to take the step that might lead you away from their orbit. This is how they keep you small, stagnant, and within their perceived control. The Roman Stoic philosopher Seneca knew that We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. What he understood is that most of the suffering you endure isn't from the actual event, but from the shadow it casts in your mind, amplified by those who claim to care. Your family's projected fears are precisely that imagined suffering passed on to you. They weaponize the hypothetical, using the phantom pains of what if to ensure you never truly test your limits. They don't want you hurt, they want you contained. If you internalize their anxieties, you shrink, you abandon your ambitions, you stay in the safe, familiar, unremarkable zone they've carved out for you. But if you recognize their concern for the emotional projection it is, you can step through the fog. You can separate their fears from your potential. You can move forward, knowing the only real risk is letting someone else's unexamined terror dictate your trajectory. But there's another subtle, insidious weapon they wield, one that doesn't just stop you from moving, but actively drains your strength. What is it? Chapter 7, The Inner Circle. Inherited chains. A prince cannot rule if he is shackled by the past. We will dissect how these ancestral specters manipulate your destiny and how to sever their hold. Your family wants to be your only inner circle. They demand to be the default, the first and last resort for every problem, every joy. They sell you this idea of unbreakable loyalty, of blood being thicker than water. This isn't warmth, it's a cage, it's a strategic move, centralizing your emotional and practical dependencies within their control. This isolation makes you fragile. It cuts you off from new perspectives, from different ways of solving problems, from challenging their ingrained beliefs. You start to see the world only through their lens, limiting your options. They drain your capacity to adapt, to innovate, to truly break free. Think about your last major dilemma, a true crossroads in your life or career. Who was the first person you called? You likely sought family advice, even when it felt uninspired. You present your problem, they offer old platitudes, and you walk away no clearer, reinforced in their worldview. You remain tethered to their limited experiences. Here's how they seal that inner circle. They subtly undermine your external connections. They question your friends' motives, highlight their flaws, or imply they're a bad influence if those friends offer a different path. They plant seeds of doubt about anyone who might challenge their perspective. They make you feel guilty for time away, implying your absence is a betrayal. As Sun Tzu wrote, "If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat." He understood that knowing your own strength requires understanding all forces around you. Your family ensures you only see a limited battlefield, where they are the only allies, the only true authority. They keep you from seeing other armies, other strategies. If you keep your circle small and family-centric, you constantly seek validation and solutions from one biased source. Your growth stalls. But if you quietly cultivate diverse external relationships, mentors, peers, friends from different backgrounds, build a network of independent perspectives. There's no single point of failure. You gain a multitude of insights, a robust defense. Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary swordsman, advised, "Do not have any preferences of your own." He understood a master of strategy doesn't limit themselves to one weapon or one way of thinking. Relying solely on family for guidance is like a warrior entering battle with only one predictable blade. It makes you easy to counter, easy to control. They don't want your independent thought, because independent thought leads to independent action. Independent action means independence from them. This isn't about love, it's about control. They need you, small, predictable, always returning to their fold, so their influence remains unchallenged. This manufactured dependency isn't the only way they limit you. There's an even more insidious method, one that weaponizes your own sense of self-worth against you. What is it? Chapter 8, The Perpetual Child. Reputation, a prison of the mind. It is a subtle leash, pulling you away from true power. Let us examine this silent tyrant and how to master its whispers. This is the lie of the perpetual child. They tell you subtly that you are not quite capable, never truly an adult. This isn't protection. It's holding you in arrested development, forever needing their guidance, approval. Your family needs you to remain smaller than you are. They chip away at your autonomy, questioning every decision, dismissing accomplishments as luck, framing independence as recklessness. They replay past mistakes as proof of immaturity. This constant invalidation creates deep insecurity, making you doubt your judgment. You internalize their narrative. Think about sharing a success met with a backhanded compliment or a warning. Consider their unsolicited advice where you excel or how they help with tasks you handle. They infantilize your choices, relationships, career, subtly reinforcing you're not ready. Here's how they maintain this illusion. They create a cycle of perceived incompetence. They withhold trust, criticize, then offer solutions that reinforce reliance. Every independent move, they wait for you to flinch, make a mistake, to prove their hidden prophecy right. It's a self-fulfilling cycle, fueled by control. The foolish response is to argue, defend your maturity, seek validation. This feeds their game. Announcing independence makes you a target. Quietly operate, demonstrate competence through consistent action without seeking acknowledgement, and you strip their ammunition. Your actions speak. Their words are irrelevant. Aristotle understood virtue as habit, not a state. We become courageous by courageous acts, just by just acts. Your adult identity is not declared. It's built through relentless execution of responsibilities, regardless of onlookers. Your consistent actions define you, not their limited perception. This constant undermining is a psychological leash. It keeps you tethered to their expectations, preventing full agency. You hesitate, second-guess, anticipating disapproval or their "I told you so." This conflict drains confidence, stifles growth. Mahatma Gandhi said, "A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes." He spoke of profound self-belief. When family calls you a child, they manipulate your thoughts, making you internalize limitation. Your fight for autonomy is first a fight for control over your own mind, over what you believe. Breaking free requires ruthless self-assessment of where you still seek their permission, praise, or pity. Build your own evidence of competence, piece by piece, far from their gaze. But even then, another subtle trap waits, leveraging your need for connection. What is it? Chapter 9. Whispers of Doubt. The past, a weapon. They wield your history, not to teach but to shackle, to control your present and to kill your future. The most insidious trap is the one you build yourself, not direct criticism, but when their constant murmurs transform into your internal monologue, their limitations become your perceived ceiling. Their lies about your nature and potential crystallize into crippling self-doubt. You police your own ambitions, shrinking your dreams, convinced any pursuit beyond their approved boundaries is foolish. Think about it. Every time you hesitate before a risk, every time you talk yourself out of a bold move, you echo their doubt, you enact the script they wrote. Your natural drive to grow is choked by an unseen weight, leading you to believe your reluctance is wisdom when it is fear they inject it into your system. Watch what happens when you face a choice breaking free from their expectations. You feel a deep resistance, a visceral urge to retreat. This isn't a sign you are wrong. It's the shadow of their influence, a phantom limb of control aching to keep you small. This internal barrier is tougher than any external argument because it feels like your own common sense. Here's how you dismantle it. Meticulously trace the origin of every doubt. When a thought whispers, you can't. Ask whose voice it is. Is it objective assessment or the echo of a parent's dismissive comment? Separate your true intuition from these projected anxieties. You cannot act decisively when your mind is a battleground of inherited limitations. This is why, as Carl Jung understood, the unconscious must be made conscious. He spoke of how what we refuse to confront, the shadows we deny, will manifest as our destiny. If you deny these internal doubts are not yours, but carefully planted seeds, you live a life directed by their hidden agendas, calling it fate. Until you pull these roots out, they will feed on your potential. Contrast this with the quiet, focused work of true self-actualization. Announcing your freedom to them unleashes fresh doubts and guilt. But quietly dismantling these internal echoes, piece by piece, leaves nothing for them to attack. You become unassailable because the fight is within you and only you can truly win it. Plato, in his allegory of the cave, understood this struggle. He described prisoners seeing only shadows, believing them reality. When one broke free and saw the sun, his return was met with ridicule. What he understood is that escaping the shadows of illusion, whether from a literal cave or family lies, is a solitary journey. The truth, once seen, cannot be unseen, but those still chained will resist it fiercely. Your family's lies, woven together, form a powerful web of perceived reality you have been conditioned to accept. It's a comfortable cage, but the discomfort of breaking free is nothing compared to the slow, silent death of your true self trapped within their small vision. The final step demands more than identifying the lies. It demands an active, daily practice of living your truth. What does that truly mean for you? Chapter 10. The Unburdening. The unpaid bill, a silent weapon wielded by those who gave. They demand repayment not in coin but in your very will. The unburdening begins when you stop asking for permission to be yourself. You have carried their expectations, their fears, their stunted lives. Drop this burden. Walk lighter, see clearer, breathe your own air. This is not selfish, it is survival. Refuse to unburden and you remain tethered, your potential suffocated. Your decisions are not yours. Your path always bends towards their comfort, never your ambition. You will live a life of almost, never truly your own. The erosion of your spirit will be your constant companion. Alexander the Great once declared, "There is nothing impossible to him who will try." Your family may have built a cage for your aspirations, but the key is in your hand. Use it. Test the boundaries of their impossible. Your true power waits beyond their perceived limits. To live your truth means every choice, every boundary, every word aligns with the self you are building. Choose your own company, your own goals, your own success. Do not seek their approval. Reclaim your territory, piece by piece, until their influence becomes a distant echo, not a present command. They will protest, guilt, shame, fear, familiar weapons. Watch what happens when you simply are, without explanation. Their attempts to pull you back into the old dance will falter. You are no longer playing their game, no longer seeking their validation. Napoleon Bonaparte, a master strategist, observed, "Ability is of little account without opportunity. You must forge your own openings. Your family might deny you opportunities or define your abilities. Create your own. Use their perceived limitations as fuel." An unburdened life is not easy, but it is real. Your energy flows freely towards your purpose, not into maintaining their delicate illusions. You gain clarity, focus, unwavering self-possession. Your decisions become sharper, actions more precise, unclouded by external noise. This is your final choice. Remain a character in their story, a supporting role, or step onto your own stage. Write your own epic. The path of least resistance leads back to their cage. The path of true power demands you cut the ties, accept the isolation of self-creation, and embrace your stark sovereignty. The lies are exposed, the chains, invisible until now, are visible. Your command is simple: sever them, everyone. Do not look back. Your new life waits for your resolve. Go.